She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. She's pretty like a 4K sunset. Blue-eyed baby from the Midwest. Body so bad when she undressed. If I was your ex, I'd be upset. Little did he know I was up next. Big brown boy with the big flex. I know that you know I'm the one. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. Lately gotta keep my memories on a leash. I know they tend to get a little bit away from me. I keep that photo in my wallet from 2018. I keep your body on my brain almost permanently. She said, can you take me to the moon? I got a reservation down for two. Nobody does it better. I don't think I'll ever find somebody better than you. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. So let's try to keep this tempo. We got love on every level. Even though I drive you crazy, I'm so glad that you're my baby. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. She's pretty like a 4K sunset. Blue-eyed baby from the Midwest. Body so bad when she undressed. If I was your ex, I'd be upset. Little did he know I was up next. Big brown boy with the big flex. I know that you know I'm the one. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. Lately gotta keep my memories on a leash. I know they tend to get a little bit away from me. I keep that photo in my wallet from 2018. I keep your body on my brain almost permanently. She said, can you take me to the moon? I got a reservation down for two. Nobody does it better. I don't think I'll ever find somebody better than you. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. So let's try to keep this tempo. We got love on every level. Even though I drive you crazy, I'm so glad that you're my baby. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. She's pretty like a 4K sunset. Blue-eyed baby from the Midwest. Body so bad when she undressed. If I was your ex, I'd be upset. Little did he know I was up next. Big brown boy with the big flex. I know that you know I'm the one. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. Lately gotta keep my memories on a leash. I know they that photo in my wallet from 2018. I keep your body on my brain almost permanently. She said, can you take me to the moon? I got a reservation down for two. Nobody does it better. I don't think I'll ever find somebody better than you. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. So let's try to keep this tempo. We got love on every level. Even though I drive you crazy, I'm so glad that you're my baby. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. She's pretty like a 4K sunset. Blue-eyed baby from the Midwest. Body so bad when she undressed. If I was your ex, I'd be upset. Little did he know I was up next. Big brown boy with the big flex. I know that you know I'm the one. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. Lately gotta keep my memories on a leash. I know they tend to get a little bit away from me. I keep that photo in my wallet from 2018. I keep your body on my brain almost permanently. She said, can you take me to the moon? I got a reservation down for two. Nobody does it better. I don't think I'll ever find somebody better than you. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. So let's try to keep this tempo. We got love on every level. Even though I drive you crazy, I'm so glad that you're my baby. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. She's pretty like a 4K sunset. Blue-eyed baby from the Midwest. Body so bad when she undressed. If I was your ex, I'd be upset. Little did he know I was up next. Big brown boy with the big flex. I know that you know I'm the one. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. Lately gotta keep my memories on a leash. I know they tend to get a little bit away from me. I keep that photo in my wallet from 2018. I keep your body on my brain almost permanently. She said, can you take me to the moon? I got a reservation down for two. Nobody does it better. I don't think I'll ever find somebody better than you. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. So let's try to keep this tempo.
Hello, hello, hello.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Together Real Bad. I am Beautiful.
And I'm Ace.
And this
is
is
our
us.
podcast. Can never get that right.
We'll get it one day. We'll get it one day. We'll get it one day. So welcome to our podcast entitled, well, this episode is entitled Lesbians for Christ.
Which you came up with that idea. No offense to anyone at all, but it's kind of
it's funny because like growing up, like there were like youth groups called like Youth for Christ. Right. I feel like you know it's similar, and I thought it was funny. I thought it was catchy.
I like it. I'm not mad at it at all. We're in a different setting.
Yes.
That we're still trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
Yeah, it's a little awkward right now. We don't have a set place to record at the moment. We are in a different setting because someone has moved in, and her name starts with a K, and her last name starts with the R. Oh,
right.
Well,
you want to try that again? We'll put it like this: your government name, not the snort. Your government name starts with a K. However, this name starts with a B for beautiful. Yeah.
Long story short, we now share the same residence. Yes, I have moved in. We have moved in together.
Yeah, yes. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited too. New memories.
For sure. What's up? What's happening? What it is, what it ain't, what it's gonna be.
What it is. What's up?
Hey. Okay, we back. We had those mini music breaks.
All right. So starting off, how are you?
I'm good. I feel like I'm like slightly stressed just from trying to figure out moving and stuff. Mm-hmm. But other than that, all is well. I feel like all is well. I'm here. I'm alive. I woke up this morning, so I can't really be
my favorite part.
Period. So I can't really be. I can't be upset because he woke me up this morning. Hallelujah. Happy Sunday.
Hallelujah.
Yes. So how are you?
I'm good. It's been a rough couple days, I would say. Mm-hmm. Just going through like a range of emotions. Yeah. Happy, sad, excited, hopeful,
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to regulate it all. And how do you regulate it?
I don't know. You tell me, because I'll be happy when you back to normal, girl. Lord have mercy. Help her, God. Oof.
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple days, and it doesn't help that Flo came to visit. So, and she's stressful in herself.
Right.
But
right. Well,
we're gonna get it together.
Absolutely.
We're gonna get it together.
Absolutely.
So to start off our pop culture section, we're gonna talk about Love Is Blind. And for those who don't know or who haven't listened to previous episodes, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
About our favorite couples, the ones that we feel like are gonna make it, yada yada yada.
Right.
So today we're going to do a little update from what we've seen because there have been new episodes that have been posted about the aftermath of,
After the altar, right?
After the altar is what it's called. Thank you. Yeah. I was trying to get it, but I knew it was after something. So I just said aftermath.
After the altar.
Yeah. It's called
Same
After the Altar.
Same difference though, because some of these people, yeah.
Yeah. So it's called After the Altar, and it kind of gives us updates about all of the relationships that kind of, we got to see them grow throughout the different episodes of the previous season. Mm-hmm. We have Brett and Tiffany, who were our favorite couple, Black Love.
Yes.
They're awesome. They really are. They're super cute. Yeah. You can tell that their love is genuine. And I feel like every season, because I've seen other seasons too before. Mm-hmm. Every season, there's always that one couple that's like, okay, this is real.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just for the cameras. Like, yeah, y'all making money from it, but it's not just about the money. Like, y'all actually like each other.
I mean, all of them can't be fake because,
for real.
I guess I honestly don't know if they're all fake or they're all not fake. I have no clue. But like you said, there's always one that is like,
Like y'all actually gonna make it.
Yeah. Like, yeah, y'all gonna make it. So.
Yeah. So Brett and Tiffany is that couple for us. Then we have the Kwame and Chelsea, which is still very awkward to me. Like, I feel like they do like each other, but their relationship is so odd that it can't be all true. Like, I don't know. I feel like Chelsea is just go if she hasn't already, it's just gonna slip up the microaggressions, and she gonna say just one microaggression too many.
You
and
think so?
Kwame, I don't know.
I
feel like it's almost. I mean, I feel like her family is very inclusive, and they show love to Kwame and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But I still think it's still deep down in them.
I mean, even if they did, do you think Kwame would say anything?
No, because he want the money. Kwame.
Oh, he gonna keep it
exactly. Okay. He gonna keep it kosher.
Okay.
He gonna keep it kosher for the coin, because Kwame
kosher for the coin. I like that. Keep it kosher for the coin.
If you remember, I think I mentioned before when we were talking about Love Is Blind, Kwame had been on several different dating shows trying to get picked up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So finally, Love Is Blind chose Kwame.
Okay.
That's like, okay, you've done a lot of applications, you've done a lot of tryouts. So we can try this one, right?
Right.
And so he finally got picked up this time, and he got matched up with Chelsea, and yeah,
we gonna see.
I mean,
they try to make it work. Well, they are making it work. I guess I shouldn't say they try to make it work. They're making it work for the time being, and if it's working for the camera, then it's working, because we wouldn't know any different.
Right. And then we have Bliss and Zach, which is also another weird couple to me.
Super awkward.
Like,
super awkward.
And so what I think, if you remember back in the season before this, before they had gotten married, Bliss's dad hated Zach. Hated so much so that they had Bliss crying.
You're right. Okay, I remember that.
So I think he clocked this at the beginning, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Right.
Like, I feel like maybe they do like each other. I think they just want it to work so bad that they're gonna continue to be their weird selves together.
I mean, if they're both weird, then it should work, right?
I hope so.
Okay. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna continue to watch. We
Lesbians For Christ gonna band together, and we're gonna pray.
Okay, we're gonna continue to watch.
And then you have Marshall and his new girl Shay.
I like them so far together.
I do too. I feel like, now this is my opinion, Marshall still really wants to be a part of the show, and so did Tiffany and Brett.
Okay.
And that's why they're besties, and I'm sure they got together in the writer's room, and they were like, well, there's no writer's room because everybody on strike, but they probably got together on the Zoom call, like, how can we keep Marshall involved? And they came up with this. Now, I do feel like Marshall and his new girl Shay might like each other.
I think they do. I think there's something genuine there. I feel like there is.
She is not comfortable on camera,
and that's okay.
And that's what makes me feel like, okay, she actually like him. Okay. Like, they met organically. Yeah. She likes him. She's only stepping into this world because this is what he wants to do.
Right. Okay.
And I think that's cute.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. It wouldn't be fair for her to say, "No, you can't do the show," if this is what she came into. So
correct.
She is stuck, kind of.
Stuck, but I mean, and if it don't work out, I mean, she got her own coins too. She just became a doctor.
Oh, I missed that. I must have fell asleep.
Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe. She just became a doctor. He revealed that on the show. I think that he did that on purpose, maybe.
Maybe. Oh, to kind of slight what's her name?
Jackie.
Yeah.
Which is another.
Toxic. That's the one word that comes to mind when I think Jackie and what's the other
Josh.
And Josh?
Jackie and Josh.
Toxic.
Very toxic.
Okay.
Like, he's a jokester, but he comes off like very offensive.
Yeah.
To a lot of the people. And I guess Jackie liked that, and she okay with it. And so they be throwing this shit back and forth.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. But in this past episode, or in this after the altar, because we kind of caught up, in one of the episodes, they're moving into their new place.
Okay.
And this is not to knock anybody. This is not to knock anybody. I don't know what the housing costs are in Seattle. I'm sure they're kind of expensive
Probably
like the rest of the
just
world.
as high as here.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Oh, never mind. I ain't even gonna go there. I'm gonna keep that to myself because it is the Lord's day.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. It is the Lord's day.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep my comments to myself.
Okay.
I am
That's
happy
fair.
that they are happy.
And that is that.
Is it real? The verdict is still out.
Oh, we're gonna find out.
The
soon.
verdict is still out on
We will
them.
find out in the next year because either they will get married or in the next year to 2 years.
I don't think so.
Or they're gonna break up and we'll see it on social media or hear about it.
I don't think so. I don't think they'll get married in the next year or two, only because they don't have that pressure. Now, with Love is Blind, they do have a contract where they have to stay married for a year in order to get some amount of money, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a contract in place that they have to be married for at least a year.
Okay.
And they don't have that type of pressure. So I think they're going to take it slow like they want to. We're going to continue to follow them because they whatever show, what is Love is Blind on? Netflix is going to continue to film them, and their storyline is how they get their toxic asses through the type of relationship that they have. I don't know, but I feel like they're just going to ride this out. They're going to definitely ride this thing till the wheels fall off.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I don't know. Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, Jackie and Josh are the toxic ones. Marshall and Shay. Oh, now I do have to say this. When Marshall introduced the world to Shay, he definitely threw some shade to Jackie.
Yes, but it's to kind of be expected, or at least they made it seem like that. I mean, at least the editing, I mean.
Yeah. It was subtle shade, but if you clocked it, you clocked it. You knew what he was saying. Like, he was basically saying that, this girl actually likes me. She's not faking. She's with me. And she's actually into me, and Jackie wasn't shit.
Okay.
Cuz she wasn't.
She was real bogus. I'll definitely give you that.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, we're going to keep watching, keep up with them. I follow Tiffany and Brett on Instagram, so I'm going to keep up with them anyway, just like I do with Cameron and what's her name?
It's another Love is Blind episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Love is Blind. Love is Blind season. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on this, but it's the white man and the black girl. His name is Cam. And I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on her, but they are definitely my favorite, and I follow her too.
And they're still together.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But I'm going to keep up with them. Sure. We're going to talk about them later.
Absolutely.
Moving on to something else that we watched recently, which was the Kim and Kanye documentary talking about their divorce.
Yeah, I feel I'm going to, on my side, make this quick. I am torn when it comes to Kanye because I feel bad for him because I feel like his issues were triggered by his mother passing, and he's like blaming himself for it because I guess she died, and I didn't know this. She died from complications from plastic surgery.
Yeah, that he paid for.
Yeah, and so I feel like after she died, and from that, like everything was triggered. Yeah, like downhill trajectory, and I feel like he has some good intentions with his kids. He just doesn't know how to express those good intentions in a constructive way. And that's what I got from that miniseries. Like, I mean, I truly feel for the man on numerous levels, from his business to what he said about Jewish people to him breaking up with Kim Kardashian. I mean,
I don't even know what he said about Jewish people.
I don't either, but it was some rhetoric that is looked down upon.
I know it's like called anti-Semitism.
Something
like that. I don't even know what that means, so I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah. But I feel for the man, so that's my take on it.
Me personally, I do feel like a lot of his mental issues were triggered by the passing of his mother. Yeah. Like, they just came to the forefront. Like, they were just manifested at that time.
Okay. Yep.
On the other side, like to Kim's defense,
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like a lot of her relationships were very opportunistic, and this was one of them. I think
True.
they even said that in the
They
documentary
did.
that, you know, her status from a D-list celebrity went to a A-list celebrity while like when she got
Yeah,
with him,
yeah,
which
absolutely.
was great for her brand. Now, speaking of her brand, we have no idea what she was actually dealing with inside her marriage behind closed doors.
Right. That's
And
true.
I think that that's what this documentary was definitely um trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so giving more of Kim's side of the story. It
Mm-hmm.
was more pro Kim than it was pro Kanye.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was showing her showing us what she had to deal with behind closed doors, and a lot of the things that she dealt with for so long without the public knowing was because she didn't want that to ruin her brand. She had this face that she had to like upkeep and
Yeah.
uphold,
Yeah.
and whatever toxic shit that was happening in their relationship, she didn't want it to bleed
Right.
into her public
Her
life.
brand, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
She was protecting that, and I can't say that I blame her, so I get that.
I get it too. But that's sad.
I mean,
It's really sad. Because I feel like if you're dealing with something or like issues in a relationship or whatever, and you want to get out, you should be able to get out peacefully. But unfortunately, when you're in the public eye,
it's tough.
that's super difficult
Yeah, it's
to
tough.
do.
It really is. It's tough, but she did it, and I feel like she did it with grace. She kind of figured out how to get out of it, and from what I can tell, keeps it cordial and keeps it like, like, okay, we're gonna have to learn how to co-parent, and tries to dodge a lot of the stuff that Kanye is saying on social media or to the media or whatever. So I mean, I commend her for that.
Yeah. I don't like how in the documentary it was saying how like Kanye was very like verbally abusive, and like, you know how like they were talking about Donald Trump like making comments to get people to retaliate against another group of people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like Kanye was kind of doing the same with somebody of his status, with the platform that he has. He was definitely trying to come up with ways to attack Pete Davidson, which was or is I don't know, Kim's boyfriend at some point, and because he was jealous,
Yeah.
to the point where he bought a house across the street. Like, that is crazy.
But he said he bought a house across the street so he could be close to his kids.
Excuses.
That's what he said. I'm just telling you what he said.
If you want to be close to your kids, why are you in Wyoming?
That's where he gets his solace, like his peace.
But
That's
that
where
ain't
he records
working
too, I think he records in Wyoming, which is why he was there.
You know, there are studios around the world.
There are, but as an artist, he's sensitive about his shit, and he wanted to record in Wyoming. I don't know. I have no clue. He probably has 100,000 acres there, and he just wants to go and utilize it. I don't know.
Teach his own.
All right, well, moving on.
But that doesn't mean you threaten
the
current partner of your ex.
It doesn't.
Your ex don't want you. Don't mess with my man.
I don't know that one.
I'm sure it's not about the same thing what the song is talking about, what I'm trying to say, but those words exactly, if you take it literally, don't mess with my man. I'm gonna be the one to break it to you. This is probably not the lyrics. I always get the lyrics to the song wrong, but pretty much saying like, hey, watch your step now. He ain't one of them. I ain't one like just like I ain't let nobody fuck with you when we was together.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with him when we together.
Yeah. Facts.
But also, Pete Davidson was egging some shit on, because I remember in the documentary it was saying something about him like FaceTiming Kanye or texting Kanye from Kim's bed, saying like, "Oh, I'm in the bed with Kim," or yada yada yada. So, I mean, he definitely had a hand in it too. But I don't know, it's just all crazy to me.
Moving right along then. Flag football. Hold on, what you give me that face for?
Cause who am I leading or you leading?
You leading, but I'm just trying to, push us along. That's all. No shade. You got it, girl. Y'all see how she do me.
What you mean how I do you? What am I doing?
Nothing.
Now she don't want to say. Now she don't want to say. All right. So yes, flag football. Let me tell y'all guys. You know how you have two knees? Everybody has two knees. I have 0.5.
Not everybody has two knees, babe. I'm sorry, unfortunately.
Why?
Because some people get their legs cut off.
Okay, you're born with two knees.
Not everybody is born with two knees.
Okay. Not everybody is born with two knees.
You seen that cat that can do the push-ups on his hands because he don't even have no legs. So let's.
You talking about inclusive. A cat?
You know
like
what
a
I
meow?
mean? No, not literally a cat. Oh my lord! Help her, Lord. Cat as in guy, man. Maybe is that too old for you? I say it all the time.
Okay. Well,
your point was
I don't have any knees. I was born with two and I got none. All right. So recently we just started our fives league.
Love it.
We play on Tuesday nights. I love it too. I don't know how long I'm gonna last.
I already told you, if your knees hurt, what you supposed to do?
And so we play on Tuesdays, and so we have.
Hold on. Don't ignore me.
Ain't nobody ignoring you.
I said if your knees.
I'm just trying to move it right along. No shade.
If your knees hurt, what are you supposed to do? Strengthen your quads. I'll answer the question for you. Go ahead. Since you want to move it along, go ahead. Get in the gym. Get in the gym. Get in the gym.
Are you trying to like bust me out or something?
No, I'm trying to be helpful to you because you be fighting going to the gym.
We already talked about this in private. Why you gotta bring it public? Why you gotta bring it here?
Because you said your knees hurt, and I said, hey, how do you solve that problem? Strengthen your quads, but you didn't want to hear it, so.
Talking about I didn't want to hear it. It was a couple days ago. I didn't even get a chance. And if you paid attention to how I was warming up today, I did some squats before I did anything.
That's not going to help your knees.
But it was in my head. And it wasn't even 5.
2 squats. Not going to help your knees. Okay. You better start running and stretching for real. You know you're getting old.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you?
Nothing. I'm just saying. I'm trying to give you some pointers.
I forget you won't. Unflow came to see you too today, huh?
Whoa.
Or is it yesterday she came?
Whoa. We're not talking about that. I'm just telling you what I would.
We weren't talking about working out. We were talking about how sore I am from Tuesday, and I was going to go into Tuesday as to why I was so sore.
Your knees hurt. We were talking about your knees.
Yeah. How not that they hurt. I don't have any.
You know.
The mega knees that I had 3 years ago, I ain't got them no
more. And all I said was,
I scream every time I bend down to stand up.
If your knees hurt. All right. Go ahead.
So on Tuesday nights, we play from 7 and this day until almost 11 o'clock.
Oh. Well,
and
not me, but you definitely did.
It's playground, which is 5s, right? So it's women, and you can have either a male or a female quarterback, right?
Yes.
And so most teams obviously opt for the male quarterback because duh.
Right.
And so if you're playing, so there's playground, like I just explained, and then there's also women's 5, or sorry, co-ed 5s.
Okay.
My bad. Co-ed 5s, obviously, men and women on the field at the same time. Usually a male quarterback, never really a female quarterback. And there are some like trick plays that you can do to where, like, advantages such as women having a higher point value if they get a touchdown versus a man. Right. So if you play playground 5s, you have 2 games, right? You have 2 games on every Tuesday.
Yes.
If you play co-ed, you also have 2 games every Tuesday.
Correct.
And the times vary depending on what team you're on and when you're supposed to play and all that kind of stuff. My dumb ass said yes to the dress. I'm just joking. My dumb ass said yes to 2 teams thinking like, oh yes. Like, first of all, I've always wanted to play 5s co-eds ever since Nationals last year. I saw how fun it was.
I didn't know that. Wait, did I know? I did know
yes,
that.
You did. Yes, you did. Ever since I saw how fun it was, how fast paced, I was like, yes.
That's me.
That's what I want to play. That's what I want to get into. And so I was already on a playground team from the last season. So I was already on that team for this season again, and then I was asked to join this co-ed team, and I said yes. And Tuesday night at 10:32 p.m., I regretted that decision.
What is that? You hurt your knee?
I played 4 games,
Yes.
damn near in a row.
It's good for you.
Yeah, it's good for my stamina and everything like that, but not for my knees. Like, every step I was taking, that shit was hurting. And it didn't help that we were also playing on turf, which made it a little worse.
Oh, I would think that grass would make it so bad because there's so many dips and divots.
Well, the ground that we play on Sundays is actually pretty level.
Okay.
There are a couple of dips, but for the most part, it's pretty level. Turf really hurts your joints, and it hurt mine that night, and it reminded me of of that.
I'm sorry.
You're not sorry because you sitting up here. Never mind. So,
how dare you tell me I'm not sorry?
Anyway,
and stop
y'all.
dismissing me and my feelings before I cry on air.
Why are you playing right now?
Sensitive. Okay, I'm good.
Why are you playing? Why are you playing? Anyway, so so this past Tuesday night, I played 4 games, damn near straight, and every single game hurt.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
Is there anything I can do to help you feel better?
Nope. Stop talking about me on air. That's all.
Wasn't talking about you.
How are your games on Tuesday?
All week, and I cannot wait till we back to normal. I enjoyed my games on Tuesday. I like my team. I like my quarterback. I hope we go.
Love your quarterback.
I do. I hope we go to nationals and play because I feel like we could be competitive. I don't know how competitive, but we have some people that could catch the ball. They're fairly fat. Like, I don't know. I had a really good time. I think we won one, lost the second, and I think that we could have won the second one. However, I think we sat a game, and so we were like cold and tired. We missed a couple of key catches, and yeah, but I'm happy. And then clearly we played today because we have on our gear still straight from the field to come in and record, looking a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all good.
Tuesday, my teams, I went 2-2 for playground. We went 1-1, so we won 1, lost 1. Mm-hmm. For co-ed, we won 1, lost 1. Now, my playground team, I guess I'd be surprised at how we do every time we step on the field.
Why?
Because we start very, very shorthanded. Okay. And somehow we're able to keep up, make plays, get stops, and it just surprises me. Okay. Like, all the pieces of the puzzle are there. We just have to put it together.
Y'all just need to show up and be there on time and then get out there and
right.
That's, I mean,
now
people got to work, so I'm sure a lot of people are coming from work and coming from different parts of the city, so they try and get there ASAP. But it's better than when we were last year or last season, last league season, way out on the west side.
West side. Yeah, west side.
Too through with having to drive over there. But.
Yeah, and then my co-ed team, we went 1-1, and I was a little bit disappointed in our team.
What? Oh,
because this is we have a lot of great pieces.
Yeah,
a lot of great pieces, and just the same story for playground. We have the pieces to the puzzle. We just have to put it together. We have all the right pieces on this team.
Yeah,
like really good athletes. Apparently, according to a lot of people on our team, we don't have a great quarterback. We have two different quarterbacks, and they just weren't believing in each other. Like, they weren't letting the other do their exactly. Like, oh no, you did, come on, I got this round. Well, not round. I got this drive, because last drive you ain't do too hot. So it was a lot of that going back and forth.
I feel like the male ego gets in the way of I feel like I've said this before. I feel like this is deja vu, but the male ego on a sports team and on a field gets in the way of so much, because even like on my team, like the team today, we have girls that can catch their ass off, but I feel like sometimes they'll see you open and they'll be like, nah, and then try and throw it downfield 30 yards, and whoever tries to catch it misses it. So tell them to utilize their girls more.
I can't tell them what to do because, I'm a role player. I play my role.
You can suggest it. I mean, y'all a team. They should be trying to hear you out.
Yeah, but I don't have much to say because when it comes to like football talk amongst people who know more about football than I do, I tend to be quiet. And that's how I am in a lot of circles. If I don't know a lot about a subject, I tend to be quiet, listen, and observe. And so that's what I do when it comes to football and those conversations. In those circles, I listen and learn and observe.
And you can. However, some things you don't have to have knowledge about. That's fine. They know the X's and the O's and the routes and all that. However, if somebody on the team has this huge ego and it is a cancer and you see it like killing the team, then say something like, dude, when you speak this way, it does this. Can we try to speak more positively? You don't have to know jack about football to say that. You just got to see that.
But that's not an issue. It's not how we talking to each other or anything like that.
It's just an example.
Okay, I was about to say because that's not the problem.
No, I'm not saying
it's just how we're playing.
That's just an example. If you notice something that's completely outside of the X's and the O's, then say something. Because I'll be like, hey, I mean, I've said it before. Like, man, can we just take a deep breath? Or I'll go in the chat and be like, we have to like speak to each other better, or we have to do this, or I see this, or just suggestions. And that's just from me playing sports and making observations and coming in like my first year, and I wouldn't be afraid to say anything.
That's great, and I love that about you. Yeah, you use that for your team, but I don't say anything. We don't have on the teams that I've been on. I haven't seen those problems like you have on your team, so I haven't felt the need to have to speak up about that. I'm talking purely about football and and technique and all that kind of stuff, and what plays we should run instead of other plays. That's what I'm speaking on.
And that is what they're saying the issue is too, or is that just what you feel or what you see?
No, what I'm saying is like our problem on Tuesday was that offense wasn't moving the ball. Defense was out on the field way too much. And me myself playing 70 games that night was tired.
Okay.
So of course I'm not going to be sharp. So our defense got a little tired, and we weren't as a defensive team, we just weren't there. And part of the reason was because we were on the field too long.
Okay. I understand.
Or too many times, because the 5 games is pretty fast.
The clock doesn't stop, right?
Yeah, I don't think the clock stops. I think it stops at 1 minute or something like that. Again, I don't know all the rules and stuff. So
I love it either way.
You took the phone.
And I'm going to continue to play until I'm 50.
Okay.
You think there's any 9 more years? You think there's any 50-year-olds out there?
I'm sure it's something that's close to it. I'm sure it's something that's close to it.
I'm just trying to be active.
Yeah. All right. So now moving along to the main event.
Lesbians
for Christ.
What a name.
It's a lovely name. I love it. I'm in love with the name.
Good job. Good job on that one.
Oh, thank you.
It's not really quite like it sounds, but it is.
It's like Youth for Christ, like I said, like the youth groups that used to go on the retreats and stuff. Yeah. Youth for Christ, but this is just Lesbians for Christ. So.
But are you putting yourself in the category of lesbian now?
No.
Okay, I was just checking. I didn't think so. I was checking in.
I need you. I'm uncomfortable. I keep having.
One day you're gonna realize we live.
I know we're live. I'm uncomfortable live. What?
Y'all, I cannot wait until she's back to normal. I'm going to just leave it at that. I love you. I'm blowing you kisses. She's not happy with me right now.
How were you brought up in the church?
So I was brought up in the church, a Methodist church, which I think the biggest difference is like Methodist is like an ordered service. So you can expect to come into the church and it's basically the same thing every time. So I don't remember the order, but maybe it's like come in, sit down, they have song, and then after they have song, they may have a praise dance, and then after that, they may have a reading and yada yada yada. So I was brought up, we went to church every Sunday. I was even like a part of the church youth group. Youth for Christ.
Youth for Christ.
Youth for Christ. And I actually enjoyed going to church, but it was only because of the youth group. I didn't really enjoy the sitting in the church part because so I remember having two different pastors, and the way that Methodist churches work is that they'll have a pastor and then they'll rotate a pastor out ever so often and bring a new one in so that people can kind of get like, it's almost like Catholicism. I think they'll do that. In the Catholic Church as well. And so the first guy was cool. I think his name was Reverend Hart. The second guy, I don't remember at all, but he had a really bad speech impediment. So I could never understand what he was saying.
Oh,
yeah.
He was laughing?
I was not laughing because I didn't laugh at the man, but it was just, he didn't hold my attention. And so I would be there, and then when they had like something called a time for kids, and then you come up and you basically sit down, they tell you a story from the Bible, and then you go to Sunday school. I came to church for Sunday school. I didn't, the service or the sermon or whatever, I wasn't really too concerned about that. Like, I just wanted to come, hang out with my friends, get a little church, and then we would have a youth group on Sunday evenings. Like, that was my ish. And so that's kind of how I was brought up. It wasn't like a super, my mom wasn't super duper religious, and didn't try and like, throw it on me or pin it on me. But, if your mom go to church, typically the kids go to church. So that's kind of how I was brought up when we say in the church, is going every Sunday and going to youth group and just, praying and, all the things. How about you?
Growing up, okay. So my experience with the church, my parents were divorced. So I went to 2 different churches every other weekend.
Oh, man. Okay.
So my dad grew up Catholic, but he converted to Christian many years ago.
Okay.
And so when we would go over his house on the weekends, on every other weekend, we would go to his church. And ironically enough, I had moved across the street from the church before moving in here. So that was just really weird to, be looking over the balcony and seeing the church that I used to go to. But anyway, it wasn't really ordered service. One thing that I do remember about church was that I didn't like going, number one. It was just way too early in the morning.
Yeah.
And I would be there all day because we were
Mm-mm.
always involved in the church. Like, my dad was in the band, so he played the bass. My stepmom was like the youth pastor. So she was like in charge of all of that. And sometimes there would be a third service. And so my stepmom would stay and like be down in the kitchen cooking, and we had to stay for the third service. And I was just tired.
Were there all day.
Literally there all day.
Hour and a half we were out.
No, I wish. An hour and a half was praise team.
Oh, that's the first hour and a half of church, is like readings and praise teams.
Man, it was tiring. And then on my mom's side, every other weekend, we went to a couple different churches, but I grew up Christian, non-denominational.
Okay.
If that's how you say it, Christian, non-denominational?
Just there's Christian and then there's non-denominational. I think they're two different things. I don't know.
Either way, that's how I grew up on my mom's side. We went to a couple different churches when I was younger. We went to this church called Fellowship of Love.
Hallelujah.
And only thing that I remember about that place is a couple things. Children's church was pretty cool. I don't remember anything significant about that, but I did like going. There was this lady named Miss Melba, who always had like the candies and the mints. Everybody got the candy and the mint lady.
Absolutely. It's a must.
And Miss Melba was ours.
Okay.
And then the third thing that I remember is that I used to praise dance when I was younger.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah, I'm sure. So while I would be praise dancing, for those who don't know, I have a twin sister and she would sing. So she would sing and I would praise dance. And like the church loved it because here you have these two twins.
Kelly can
At,
sing?
yeah.
Still?
We all can sing, kind of.
Oh, you told me that. Y'all used
Yeah.
to sing together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get next time y'all get together, I'm gonna ask y'all to sing.
No.
Yes.
We don't do public singing.
It'll just be me. Don't worry about it. That's not
you go
public.
private show?
Yeah. Thanksgiving sounds good, like a good time.
But yeah, so when I was younger, I used to praise dance for the church while Kelly was singing. And what was cool about my praise dances, it wasn't just normal stuff. It was like I was flipping down the aisle, and they loved to see that because they knew I was the gymnast. So that was like the highlight of the performance. And so much so that my granny used to invite me to her church to do the same thing.
Oh.
Me and Kelly used to go on tour.
Just putting y'all out there. She probably was getting tips from the pastor, like, yeah, bring the kids. I got you. We gonna tip you out.
No, that's not. No, no. But
you sure?
That wasn't happening.
Because churches sometimes are some of the shadiest of organizations. I'm not making a generalization. I'm just saying sometimes.
No, so that wasn't happening. Nah, so back to my
Granny might have been getting tipped.
What was? I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Anyway, yeah. So we used to get invited. We used to go on tour, like a mini tour between the churches, dancing and singing. But so that's what I remember when I was younger. Now, when I got to like high school and stuff, this is when I was dating my high school. No, not my high school sweetheart. The one before that, the one that really broke my heart. So if you haven't listened to the last episode, go to that, where I talked about how this man cheated on me for the very first time, my very first time having that experience.
You mean this
He
boy.
was a preacher kid.
You mean this boy. You don't mean this man.
Okay, yeah, this boy.
Mm-hmm.
He was a preacher's kid, y'all, which just makes sense as to why he was the way he was.
Yeah, them PKs.
Yeah. Them PKs, that's a real thing. I didn't really understand it, didn't care to understand it at the time, but now I do. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so we were going to his parents' church, and it was a smaller church, and I also hated going there as well because, and not because we were there, actually no, there we would be there all the time because they were intercessors, and they would do what the Spirit would tell them to do. They will move on when the Spirit would tell them to move on. And if and if the Spirit didn't tell them to move on, we would be sitting there on our knees for forever.
Oh, Lord.
And I mean, it was very moving to see how people were moved and stuff like that. But I wasn't. I was just sitting there like,
I'm ready to go.
Right. Yeah, and then we didn't have anybody to do children's church or anything like that. Like they tried it a couple times and it was fun when we did do it, but they never kept it up. Yeah. And so I just didn't like going. On top of the fact, like I said, they're intercessors. So I felt like they was like reading me every time they saw me. Like, and judging me. Because I was going through the feelings of having like homosexual like feelings about women and all that kind of stuff and going back and forth and battling through that. And I just knew, like, when they looked at me, they saw it. And I just didn't want to be in that space.
Yeah, I understand that. When I was, like, high school, stuff like that, I've known since 6th grade. Like, I think I said that in the very first episode. But I was, like, trying to mask it or hide it. And I didn't really pay attention to like, people around me or like, what I was giving when I was walking around. Like, am I giving off, like, lesbian tendency traits or anything like that. But I did attend a church like when I first moved here. I was staying with my cousin. The church shall remain unnamed. But they made a comment about I think it was women liking women, and it was not a cool comment at all. And I really, really felt some kind of way.
I know what church you're talking about.
Yeah, and I never went back. Like after that, I was like, I'm pretty sure that was the last time I went to church ever in my 20s. It just made me feel some kind of way that like when you go to church, it's supposed to be about love and forgiveness and inclusion. And you can't tell me that because I love somebody, I'm going to hell or I should be ousted or blackballed. No, I can't. And that kind of like drove me away
Yeah.
from a physical church.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. Like my faith is still there, but it's definitely dwindled down because of
I
like
agree.
being like beaten over the head with the fact that, if you're homosexual,
You're going to hell.
Yeah, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
Like God doesn't love you the same.
Which is wild, because how is this sin, me loving somebody, any greater than somebody being gluttonous, somebody having sex out of wedlock, what other
Adultery.
sins? Adultery. I'm sure y'all that are looking at me and judging me have done all of the three things, but because I love somebody that is the same sex as me, I love their soul. I guess I'm not really concerned about sex, although I do want you to be a woman. I don't really want to do the man thing, but I just don't I don't get it. I don't understand it. And then the older I got, the more I realized, and people would say, and it would make sense, is like, the Bible was kind of used to control people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's some truth to it, but anything that's been handed down for hundreds of thousands of years, or however this
After
world
being
is
taught
in
from
existence,
a white man.
Yeah, after anything that's handed down that long is going to have some discrepancies and some things that are taken in, put out, like put in, taken out, all of the above. So that's a tough road.
Yeah, I feel like my distance in my relationship with the church, for me, let me start over. For me, I've since that realization of like, man, the church doesn't love me, yada yada yada, or always having the like feeling judged, I left the church because I wanted to find my relationship with God on my own.
Right.
And growing up in church and having to be at church every Sunday, whether it was my dad's church or my mom's church, it's like forcing me into a relationship. And that's what pushes me away the most, even in real relationships. If I'm forced into something, I'm going to pull back even harder.
Note to self.
And
just making notes, mental notes.
Has nothing to do with you. Anyway, so like I think that's what happened with my faith. Like being forced into, the religion and everything has made me as an adult question things that I've been taught, question how I was brought up in that faith, and it's encouraged me to try to find that relationship with God on my own and in my own time.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, not that I don't believe in God or anything like that. I still do believe that, he is that higher power.
Right.
But what all was true and what was,
falsified, or what was like added, or.
And that's the hard part about it. That's the really
is.
hard part about it. Especially when you have people in your family that you are pretty close to that still believe in those things.
Yeah. When I told my mom, or when I came out to my mom, the first thing or the second thing out of her mouth is, I wouldn't tell your family this, because I have a lot of like pastors on my dad's side. That's the first thing that came out of her mouth. So immediately I'm back like, oh, here we go with this church thing again. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't be myself around my own family, because I have to be worried about them judging what I'm doing and who I am. And they used to constantly ask me, when you getting married, where your boyfriend at? So now I don't want to come around
where your
no more.
boyfriend at?
Yeah.
Where your boyfriend at? Oh, you like Mike and Ike? He gonna get you Mike and Ike? Oh, you like Mike and Ike? That's what it sound like.
So now I got to worry about going around my family for every family reunion and them asking me, where your boyfriend at? Nobody's asked me for a while, but I also haven't attended a family reunion in a while. And that is why, because I have pastors in my family and I can't come out to them. Like I can't be myself. Like I can't bring you around. And that is hurtful to me, and it sucks. And I don't want to deal with that,
Yeah. Same with me. Like, because of how I was brought up, my mom has her own opinions about the lifestyle. And I've experienced that growing up secondhand from how she treated my sister, which is the reason why I haven't told her about my sexuality to this day.
Right.
I feel like it's something that I'm getting closer to being able to come forward about. But that's still in the back of my head. Like, am I going to lose my mom because of her closed-mindedness about the lifestyle? Like, me being one of her, pride and joys. Like, is she going to now not
oust
me because I choose not to be with a high value man?
Right.
that she believes I should be with.
Right.
You know, you say nobody's asked you where your boyfriend at in a while. A couple months ago, my mama said she's still a couple weeks ago. She was asking me, was I driving my boyfriend's car? No, I'm driving, and I actually said, I did say
You
this.
told me.
I said no. She was like, this was a conversation. She was like, whose car is that? When you get that car? That's your boyfriend? Is that a boyfriend car? And I was like, no, it's my friend's. No. She said, this is what it was. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Whose car is that? You got a new car? Like, no, that's my friend's car. What kind of friend? Like boyfriend friend? I was like, no. Like girlfriend friend? completely went over her head. So I'm giving these like subtle like little comments and stuff, like hints, if you will, about
she's not picking up what you put down.
picking up what I'm dropping, and that is not my fault.
I mean, she's just not. Oh man, okay. Ooh, that's gonna be a very interesting time in your life, and by proxy to that, my life. But at the same time, I don't know. I just have this feeling that it's gonna be okay. I don't know. I just have this feeling it's gonna be okay. We're gonna buy her this expensive wine from France. We're gonna wrap it up and put a bow on it, and I'm gonna take it to her when I first meet her. Like, I really heard you like wine, and I got this for you, and I had it imported from France. And then we're gonna have her over and cook, and she's like, "Girl, y'all throwing down." And I'll be like, "Yeah, that's what we do." And then we just go, kill her with kindness.
I'm definitely hoping for the best.
It'll be all right.
But going back to religion, that's something that we actually never talked about for our relationship. Like, this is our first time actually hearing each other's experience growing up with religion and what our beliefs are and stuff like that, which is not something I recommend bypassing when you're getting into a relationship. I feel like that is a conversation that needs to be had, but I feel like we vibed on such a high level, and we weren't gonna let a conversation like this kind of like mess that up. And so the conversation has been put on the back burner, not as for a bad reason or anything. Like, it just never came up. It wasn't super important to us, and I feel like this is the reason why. Because we both have our feelings about it, as far as like, okay, if I have a relationship with God, it's going to be on my terms, and kind of the same with you. So we had that blanket understanding of what religion was going to be for us.
If I was atheist, would you still date me?
I don't know. And that's
interesting.
That's very interesting, because I'm not going to lie. Growing up, just I guess just because of what I was taught about atheism, that scared me.
Yeah.
Like, when I hear atheism, what I picture in my head is like the devil and the horns and stuff like that, like when I was younger. And so hearing that word always kind of scared me. So my younger self, if you were asking me that,
no.
Nah. No.
Well, I'm not, so don't worry about it. But we already established that. Just want to put that out there again.
But yeah, with my old ideas of what atheism is, no. With my ideas of what religion is for me, the answer probably would still be no, only because we probably just wouldn't mesh on that level.
Right.
Like,
it's a pretty important level at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah. Atheism is like where you believe in no God, right? That's gonna be hard. Like, you don't believe in no higher power, like nothing. Yeah. That's kind of a thing that would probably be an issue for me. So
right. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like the same thing. I feel like if you're an atheist, it is scary, because I think it's more scary back in the day, 10, 20 years ago, than it is now, just because I feel like everybody is so far from God now with all the stuff that's going on in the world. But I would have to definitely, we would definitely have to have a conversation.
Even if I bat my eyes like this?
Even if you batted your eyes like that. Because like you said, it's scary, and it comes with some baggage. And I feel like it could come up one day. So then if you're atheist, does that mean that you don't believe in the sanctity of marriage? But then, according to the Bible, our marriage wouldn't really be sanctified, really, because we're two women.
There's
I
so
don't know.
many layers
Just
to it.
brings up a whole, like, it opens up a can of worms.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting, super interesting. I think the bottom line for me is if I decide to go back to church, it's got to be an all-inclusive like church, and there's two right down the street in Hyde Park, and I've been wanting to go to them, but I also like prefer to not have an ordered service because I don't want to go and sit down and see the same show every week. I want to go and sit down and see something different or experience something different, and I also want the place to be like multicultural, with a bunch of different people with a bunch of different backgrounds and experiences. So straight, gay, trans, black,
I want to
Mexican,
see.
like
I want to see. I want to see the very, very flamboyant praise director
doing this right here. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Like, yeah, I want all that, and I don't know. It's tough to find. At least I think it's tough to find. And while I like Baptist churches, they hold too long. 3 hours in a Baptist church. I like the band. The band gets it. The bass, the guitar, whatever else they got. But I just, I don't think it takes 3 hours to praise the Lord. And I used to be really, really against it because I'm like, that's half my Sunday. Now that I work for myself, I would be more open to it. But I don't know if you would, because that's half your Sunday.
I came from where I was at church all day, so I don't want to do none of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So you wouldn't consider going back to?
No, for sure. Okay, like exactly how you described it, an all-inclusive, multicultural church. Right. I actually told my mom once we moved from one of my favorite churches to my ex-boyfriend's family's church. I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't feel like I want to learn about God here. At the church before we went there, like the children's church was so interactive. Like we had a good time. Right. Like that's where I learned about VeggieTales. Do you know VeggieTales?
I've heard of VeggieTales.
Girl, man, the stories. Like I really enjoyed it at that moment. But once we moved, I was like, yeah, nah, this ain't it. But what I do want to know about you is how was growing up Methodist and learning about God in that way, and then growing up also going to a Catholic school.
Yeah. It was honestly wasn't really much difference. Because Catholics have an ordered service. The basis, I feel like, for Catholicism and Methodist churches are the same. I'm not an expert on the rules and all the ins and outs and all that, but just the feeling that I got when I had to go to mass at a Catholic school and I went to church on Sundays, being raised Methodist, was the same. I probably know more about. No, not probably. I do know more about Catholic religion than I do my own religion, being baptized Methodist, because I went to a Catholic church, and it wasn't a thing where we had to go and go to mass every day and all that.
Yeah.
But it was like if there was a holiday or if we had some sort of event, we always had a mass before that, and then the event happened, or they had some small amount of church. So they always kind of kept church in the forefront, and we had to have a religion class all 4 years. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, like learn the books of the Bible, like all that, verses. We had tests, the whole nine. And so while it was very informative, I could have done without a religion class. I don't think it made any difference here or there in my life. And that's no shade.
Except for the fact that you're gay now because you went to a Catholic school, all girls Catholic school.
Exactly. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right.
That's not true at all.
No, it's not true. It's not. It's not at all. And I think some people think that. I think even my mom thought that, but hopefully she knows a little bit better now. There's you either is or you ain't. You're born that way or you're not. I really don't think it's a choice. So, but yeah, that was my experience. I enjoyed my time at Catholic school. I went from pre-K all the way up through 12th grade.
Lord.
Yeah, I'd wear a uniform. That was cool because I didn't have to worry about trying to find something to wear. I didn't have an issue with that. I do remember when I was like in pre-K or kindergarten, they used to pop you on the knuckles. They could reprimand you. That was in daycare too. That wasn't even a Catholic school. They used to capital punishment. When I was a kid, I don't know if you ever seen these thick pencils like this. You act up, pop you on the knuckles. I've heard of people getting paddled. Never saw it at my school, but I used to hear about kids in the class that would get paddled. So they were big on punishment. I was an angel. I don't know if you see a little halo above my head, but
I think it's broke.
I'm just but it wasn't so bad that I just was like, oh my God, I want to go here. It was a pleasant experience. I would do it again.
Really?
Yeah, I would. And I think it's because Detroit public schools aren't the greatest.
Okay, that makes sense. I would do it again too.
Yeah, I would rather go through that than to go to Detroit public schools, which is where I'm from. So, yeah.
Well, on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Together Real Bad. Please, we want to invite you guys to like, follow, comment, subscribe on all of our social medias because we like to do this, but we like to hear from you guys. It helps us keep going. So please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to all of our social medias.
Which they are on Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube, together.real.badpod. You can find us there.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and also, if y'all could leave a review.
Oh, yes.
For Apple Podcasts, that'd be great. That'd be a big help. And we're excited to say that we've partnered with a brand, which we will share soon. So that's a step in the right direction. Yeah, what we're going for. So, it doesn't have to be monetary help, but a like, a share, a review, those are all helpful in and of themselves. So.
And we really appreciate it. And thanks in advance for all of that.
Absolutely.
But until next time, guys, this is Together Real Bad. I am Beautiful.
This is Ace.
See y'all next time.
Later.
Deuce.
She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. She's pretty like a 4K sunset, blue-eyed baby from the Midwest. Body so bad when she undressed. If I was your ex, I'd be upset. Little did he know I was up next. Big brown boy with the big flex. I know that you know I'm the one. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. Lately gotta keep my memories on a leash. I know they tend to get a little bit away from me. I keep that photo in my wallet from 2018. I keep your body on my brain almost permanently. She said, can you take me to the moon? I got a reservation down for two. Nobody does it better. I don't think I'll ever find somebody better than you. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple. Even though she drives me crazy, I tell everyone that's my baby. So let's try to keep this tempo. We got love on every level. Even though I drive you crazy, I'm so glad that you're my baby.